What's up, guys? We're warming it up today. Instead of just coming at you straight, hardcore, telling you what's going on, we just gonna pop for a minute. You can see kind of behind the scenes.
Get the vibe.
As we prepare for the show. Hey! Wait for it. Wait for it. Remi, you were feeling this earlier. Where's your bop at? Give me a little head bop. Mr. Kane, I know you like this song. Hey!
Hey!
Where my crew at? Where my crew at? Oh, hey, now we all bopping. About damn time. Hope we all are getting in there. Getting people in here to join us for our party. Hey! All right, we ready?
I got my cup for it, you know?
We're good.
Hey! Hey!
It's right here, you know?
What's up?
What up, what up, what up, what up? This is SafeWord, a platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink and BDSM. I am your host, Remi D'beau.
And I am your second host, Orora Storm.
Hey, everybody, you know who it is. It's the co-host, Kane Marcos.
And this is your second host, Sasha Lencher.
That all happened.
Welcome, welcome.
So, if you watched our oh wait, we didn't have a video. So we're here for you today with our live. We will get back to our videos next week. We took a little small break, but we are back with you today to talk about things. So I mean, it gives you an opportunity to go back, watch our old videos, get them out of the way, because season 1's about to be over and you're gonna be lost. Like, just do it.
Yep. Comment, you know what I'm saying? Tell us what you like, what you didn't like, like and subscribe.
Get caught up.
Absolutely. So, if you watch our show,
I'm glad we do run-throughs and outlines.
I'm all here. I'm all here. I'm just letting y'all know I'm all here. So if you watch our show, we are SafeWord, and we have a safe word of the day. We use this safe word to stop, halt, and completely put a pause on all topics of conversation. So if you do not like what is being said, if you think it's rude, it's crass, or you just don't want to talk about it, or you want to shut someone up, we're going to say the safe word. So crew, what is our safe word of the day? On the count of 3, hopefully we'll get it this right. Time. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Fable.
That was really good, actually. I'm just saying.
It was as close as it's gonna get.
I know,
what
right?
I mean?
Especially with the Zoom audio.
Well, that's the closest it's ever been.
Right.
So, you are going to use this word at any time to stop the conversation. Now, we have some audio issues, as I've been saying, with Zoom, and sometimes we can't hear each other. So, if we cannot hear each other, you're saying the safe word, it's not stopping, then we have a hand signal that we use here at SafeWord Crew. Do we want to show them what that is? Yes. So, yeah.
For you vampires out there.
So, if you're saying the safe word and no one's stopping, please throw up the hand signal. And make sure you say the safe word of the day, which is Mabel. So that
I just noticed that.
So Kane has some hot topics for us today.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I do. I actually got some funny shit for you guys tonight, because if this doesn't make you laugh, then you don't have a pulse. Because what I found out earlier this week, I was dying laughing. So you guys know about chastity belts. We did a video series on them. We talked about them. We delved into it. We described, the origin, how they're used, and everything that they have to do with kink and BDSM, right?
Yes.
So there's some electronic chastity belts for gentlemen. And the company that made them decided to go ahead and just leave it as open and free of an app as possible. And that made it so that way hackers could then hack into the chastity belt and lock it and hold their penises for ransom.
Oh no! I thought that's where you're going, but
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Yes.
FBI warning,
Penis
boy.
hackers?
Yes.
They had member
So-
hackers?
You gotta pay up.
so like, wait.
So
it's
apparently
like,
they just had to be within the
hacking
vicinity.
into it?
Yeah, they hacked into it. They hacked into, so they have a phone app that has their complete profile through the company that manufactures these chastity belts. And in it, they select a password for the app, but not for the device, not for the chastity belt. And so it was left unsecured. It's just a simple lock, unlock feature on a phone
Right.
that if you were in, a scenario or something, your partner would take the phone and have control over when that comes on or off.
Right.
But doesn't mean it's just like a garage door opener. I mean, when they were within the vicinity, it was able to be locked if somebody could
Wow.
hack into the electric signal that went from the chastity belt to the app.
You could just be like at a freaking fancy
Wow.
restaurant, playing with your partner. Like, okay, really, I want this off. No, I can't. I don't know. I don't know. And then you just get a message like $1 million or you don't get your back.
Well, some dude paid up to 900.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you want that back. You know what I'm saying?
Someone's member was held ransom and they paid $900 to be released.
Yes.
yeah.
Because the phone app would no longer unlock the device. And so somebody a little bit smarter than the manufacturer decided to then encrypt the device to only be unlocked from one device. And so
What's the name of this device?
It was manufactured by OUOI.
I'll match you up.
OUOI. We'll find out.
You're just writing it down. What is happening over there, Sasha? What was the name of the device?
Wee wee. It's
I
called
just
wee
wanted
wee.
to know what was going on for educational
Well, so if you
purposes.
have those
So
devices,
OUOI.
The company that manufactures this is actually
Trying to hack
said,
it.
stop using it until we could figure out the glitch, offer an update, patch the system, and make it so that way the device could then be under the control of one user instead of being open and broad-ended and open for attack.
Yeah.
Mm. That joint will be open. It's like an open source network. You
I'm
tap
just gonna
in.
stop.
Yeah.
Tap in.
I'm just gonna stop. It's just like,
I don't even know why you shared this information with them. You understand?
I'm
You know?
Damn. What you mean, damn?
Oh, somebody
I
already figured it out. Now I'm just
do
I could
everything.
see I could see Sasha right now. It's not working. I'm sorry.
if you've been affected
What do
by
you
this, just
mean,
know that
guys?
tragedy plus time equals comedy. So soon one day you will laugh at this. Until then, we'll hold it up for you.
And you didn't see it here if something goes wrong. You didn't get this information here.
right. It's just like, don't rat me out either. Okay,
No, if
Yeah, y'all go ahead and get that app.
you.
Oh me, oh my, whatever. Whatever
if
he said, oh me.
If you have
me,
one of
oh
those
my.
devices, you've heard about this, so far. And if you're still locking yourself up and you get held for ransom, I mean, at this point, hey,
That almost came out of Remi's nose.
That's only at a Dom's request. That's because the Dom said so.
That was better than
Any
the story.
switches, listen to the verse.
but they are violating the one rule, which is the safe word. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be yelling that shit in the middle of a restaurant.
You got to pay to play. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Oh.
Dude, you members only. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's why I like manual toys. All this electrical, this, that, the other, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Like, why do you need all of that?
Everything
Like what happens if
sounded
somebody
fun
hacks the
until this
Bluetooth
story
on, like your
came up.
wireless butt plug?
Wait, what?
That's what happens if somebody can hack. Like this has to open up so many other doors. Like, are they going to start trying to hack into like those vibrating panties or the Bluetooth anal plug?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah. They're gonna try and hack into all of them. Are you kidding me? They figured out it works.
That'd be kind of cool. And with that, I
Can you
wouldn't mind
imagine
setting
seeing
off,
some dude on a computer on like the subway or something, just
setting off random panties.
just watching a chick 2 carts up, just start doing the.
I'm mad Remi was in the camera like this, just looking like a perv.
Like how to hack toys?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for real. Oh my goodness.
So
It's about to be a searchable
was a
moment
good-
right
that
there.
was-
That's Google.
Right, for real.
I thought that was too funny. to
Oh
pass
me, oh
up.
my.
I definitely wanted
That's-
to share that with you guys.
Yeah,
And
Brother Kane said, "Oh me, oh my."
That was a really good one.
Yeah. So shout out to Uyu.
oh yo.
No shout out to the hackers. That ain't fair. Release the penises.
Shout out to the hackers. That was some straight up ingenious, like next
can't even be
level
mad.
stuff right there. Like, hey, creativity is a thing. You
Well, hey,
understand?
maybe now, like, the hashtag free the nipple was around for a while. Maybe now it'll be free the penises.
And free the member.
Free the member.
Free the
There you
member.
go. Hashtag
Free the resistance.
Hashtag, y'all.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, free the resistance. That'll be the new movement.
All right, and then lately some recent events have popped up that I like to call this no shit news,
Okay.
where apparently there was some celebrity, his name was Army Hammer. He had some.
Yes.
Wait, Army Hammer?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
he played the Lone
Mhm.
Ranger in the reboot.
Yes, Brother Kane.
Oh, okay,
Go
okay.
ahead.
All right.
All right, so dude's name's Army Hammer. I guess he was having
I've been
some
following this story, so please.
explicit DMs
tell us.
between himself and several ladies, and they got leaked out. And now it's just it's one of those Me Too situations where it's coming down to like a he said, she said kind of case. So far, the messages and everything are unfounded, but they included explicit sexual content, graphic mentions of rape, cannibalism, and body mutilation.
Oh my goodness.
So
Word?
dude's
For
in
real?
shit.
So he be going off on his.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Branding, removal of body parts to consume bodily excrement, like consumption. Like I've been following the story, so I was happy that Kane brought it up because I have been following it, and there's been multiple people who have came forward with allegations and claims that sadomasochistic behavior has came from him and
Literally came from.
being appropriately, because I like to ride, but only when appropriate. But I'm so happy you brought this up. Like, what are your thoughts on the digression of what you found, sir?
So honestly, where I was trying to take this is that falling under no shit news, you need consent to sext.
Right.
So I mean, if that's news to you, hey, well, better late than never, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Like, okay.
But that was the headline of the article, saying that you need consent to sext and other, kinky things that you should know about. And it's like, okay, so I start reading this article, and it's just like, no shit, no shit, no shit. What the hell? Like, who didn't already know this?
Right. Exactly.
Wait. So.
Right.
All right.
It's like one fish, two fish, safe word, consent. Like,
Wait, Remi,
But some people don't have that bandwidth because they think everyone's on the same spectrum as them. So this opens up to, I know Remi has something to say.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
My question is this. You said that they got text messages or something like that, some type of messaging or whatever
DMs
between
and messages and stuff.
All right, so these people were actually talking together with the guy, right? What's his name?
Army Hammer.
Army Hammer. Okay. Army.
Okay.
It's just a real fun. It's a comical situation, but it's like it really does teeter on the line of like what is consent and what is like forced consent versus a negotiation, because that's what that sounds like to me. It sounds like it was forced consent from one party and not necessarily a negotiation, but hands up, don't shoot.
Yeah, it does. I guess he's working off his, I guess, celebrity, and I guess got
His
some
clout.
people- Yeah, his clout got the people there and then did whatever he want. Wait, I don't understand. So body mutilation, like
Yeah, how did he get away with? I mean, was it through just sexting, or was it?
Yeah, it's just sexting.
Okay, it's
It
just
was just
sexting.
direct
Okay,
messages. None of these acts actually occurred,
okay.
but now
oh
it kind of falls
Can
under that
I
like
share the info that I've compiled? Because I've told this story,
yes,
and it's
please
like
do.
it's because
Go ahead.
we do this candid for you guys, so we don't necessarily know what topics we're all talking about. But I've been following this story that Kane brought up as hot topics. One of the alleged members of the situation, they said that they were in a relationship with him, and he wanted to brand them with like a surgical razor, and he carved an A in them. And it elaborated on the situation, and it came off more sadomasochistic because the whole thing kind of turned, from what it comes off, it's kind of vampire like vibes. Like he likes the
Blood sports,
excretion, he likes the way it's
the
presented.
fluids.
He likes
Bodily fluid exchange.
yeah.
Well, and just to play the devil's advocate, it sounds like he was just in the wrong forums for that type of situation. So
Yeah, he probably needed to go to an extreme play forum
Right.
and find his match. You know what I'm saying?
And do it
Or consent, or like
well,
ask
and who
instead
knows
of
if there
like
wasn't any consent? I mean, it's just right now it's all allegations. It's all up in
Right,
the
that's
air
true.
for.
correct.
I mean, this could
Yeah.
be this. Oh hell,
But
I'll
it's cool
probably
that
get
we
canceled
have
for
like
saying this and catch a lot of hate speech. But I mean, until we know all the facts, I mean, it could just be a bad case of buyer's remorse. Who knows?
True. Yeah, you love me this
but
much.
we'd
You
love
should
to
get.
hear your feedback if you
love
guys
me.
have been following the story. Like
Basically, you
definitely
love me.
chime in if you guys want to like keep a conversation going about this. What's done right, what's done wrong. Please sound off.
Hey, hold on for just a second. Remy was in the middle of saying something. Hold on. What were you saying, Rem?
So basically, it's like you love me, and now that you branded me, and now we ain't together. Now all of a sudden, it's like now I'm upset, and you wronged me, type of thing.
Right, exactly.
Well,
and that's what I was thinking, because I was like, that's why I was asking, is it all through sexting, or is there actually like physical altercation that has happened? Because, that could very simply be somebody like, in a relationship, or thought they were in a relationship, knows he has money and is coming for him, It could be as simple as that.
Maybe.
And who knows? We might get burned at the stake for even saying something with the culture the way it is nowadays.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right. This
Nobody
cancel
knows.
culture out here.
Yeah. That's why we got to be careful about what we speak about on YouTube.
Negotiation
I don't think so.
and consent are huge.
but it goes without saying. I mean, you definitely need consent to sext. So as long as you're engaging in these activities consensually, I don't think that there's too much that can be done against you. Or, you could be in Army Hammer's position where you thought you had consent, you thought this was going well, you thought you found somebody you could communicate with, and now all of a sudden it's biting you in the ass, and all we can say is, "Ooh, well, that sucks to be you." So,
yeah. Once you get that stigma, on your name, is you're not getting that off of there.
all I gotta
Like,
say is, don't use Johnny Depp's lawyer.
We ain't even gonna go into that.
That was so wrong.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was so wrong.
Oh, can
Oh,
you leave
no,
my
but that was
man
good.
alone, Mr. Johnny?
Leave my man alone.
Man, I feel bad.
I love
Everybody
the dude
got a
too, but
viewpoint
he
on the
just used wrong
situation.
damn lawyer.
Yeah, he needs a better lawyer. That's real talk. All right, you want to take us into
Straight
that?
up.
Or is that it for Kink News?
Yeah, that's it for Kink News.
That was no
That was
shit.
dope.
I'm making sure I'm not stepping over lines, Hey.
No, you're good. That was it for Kink News. And today's topic, it's titled Mythbusters. So today we're going to bust some common BDSM myths, because we're going to start getting into more of the BDSM topics. So we're going to start that off with debunking a lot of the bullshit that's out there that makes everybody think that BDSM is something different than what it actually is. So we're going to aim to educate the masses, and hopefully everybody can learn something. And if you already know everything that we're talking about, then you're in a good spot.
Yeah. That's Go ahead,
Just give us a like then.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about
you and me. All right. So first thing that's coming up as, you know, one of the most common BDSM myths out there is that BDSM is a rare occurring phenomenon. And a lot of it comes from people thinking that you have to go, like, people think BDSM goes down like buying drugs in the 90s, where you have to go down a shady alley with a sketchy dude and get taken into a secret club that's 3 stories down and you know, flash a badge or a gold card to these weird people to get admitted to a room where this BDSM party's going down.
Right.
You do.
It,
The
VIP section only.
perpetuating the stereotype. That is not what a BDSM party looks like at our club or nope, not
Be
at
afraid. Be
It looks
afraid.
like this forum right here. It's just masked and promoted in a different way. Not to like piggyback off of Kane, but it looks like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's normal people. So you're asking. So the myth is that that BDSM is a rare phenomenon, right?
Yeah, and all of us have gotten kind of something like that, you know, explaining this to somebody vanilla, dealing with a new sub. Everyone's always like, wait, so where is this at? Like, what crossroads do I have to meet you at? Like, none. You know that building right there on 7th and, you know, Parker? They're right there.
And here's the thing, you'd actually be really surprised how many people are honestly either into BDSM or have fantasized about BDSM. I actually have a statistic for you guys. So it's about 93% of men and 96% of women that actually have admitted to on a survey that they have fantasized or wanted to or have tried BDSM. So it's not that rare. I mean, like the media paints it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
So wait. Let me get this straight, right? 93% are male.
Yep.
96% are women.
Yeah, 96% of women. Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, and where's the?
I looked up. I did some research previously, and I saw the same study as Miss O did, and it's surprising how reciprocated it is on both ends.
And it was such a big.
See, I knew women are bad. They need to be punished.
It was such a huge study that it actually got published in a book of Tell Me What You Want. And that's by Justin Leheimer. He's the one that did the study. And so it took everybody by surprise that they put it in this other book, you know? And that's a real recent survey that just went down. So yeah, no.
I'm just saying,
but
like,
can I play devil's advocate real fast?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, I love it. Let's do it.
I've seen his brain brewing.
I just want to ask, and everybody out there, I mean, sound off in the comments. Just honestly tell me right now, off the top of your head, what was the last survey you took?
Ooh.
And when?
Who takes surveys? Unless I'm getting paid, I don't take a survey.
You talk about us too?
I've taken a survey.
Oh, you talk about like a real life survey?
I'm not saying that you've never taken a survey.
No,
I'm just saying, do you remember the last one you took?
Before the pandemic.
I took phone. I took like phone surveys and stuff. How was your customer service?
Yeah, but you didn't pay your electric bill and stay on the line and be like, are you a male interested in BDSM? Press 1 for yes and press 2 for
Well, these are people that they pull in for this study. It's not like they just like randomly like, oh, okay, I'm going to call and do cold calling. They pull people in for these studies that are.
But you know, most of the time they only need about 30 people at most.
Yeah.
And then they could say, well, 96% of them, 93% of them, you know.
Right. But I mean, still, regardless, it was actually an online study that they did. So, yeah. But I mean,
so it wasn't like a Canvas area or anything like that. It was just at random online.
It was an online study. It was directed to the US only. So there's like a worldwide study of about 20% of people that are into bondage and have tried it. And that's a form of BDSM. I'm sorry, it is. It's a form of kink. And, you know, the blindfolds, all those kinds of things. So it was like about bondage and blindfolds, then masks and stuff. And about 20% of people worldwide have admitted to trying this. So, I mean, I think it's, it's a rare phenomenon, or painted as a rare phenomenon here in the US.
It is very,
It's just a
pretty
secret
common.
phenomenon. I think with the highlight of 50 Shades of Grey, I know it was a read that I read when I was in high school, and it wasn't even like an inquisitive read for that reason, but I feel like it's became a huge phenomenon because it's not taboo, because it was like a bad situation. And now everyone's like, oh, what is this? I'm kind of into this. And they're jumping into it with no education. So I feel like it's became a fad phenomenon because it was highlighted in such a commercial way.
I mean, but just the point that people attracted to 50 Shades of Grey so easily, how many millions of people watched it and wanted to watch the movie and this, that, and the third. They knew what it was about. Obviously, they have some interest in it.
But it was depicted completely.
No, we're not talking about the movie. We're not talking about the movie.
Wait a second. Okay.
Even if you ain't watched the movie, you knew what it was about. Oh, right, I gotta watch that.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not necessarily, because I know when I picked up the book, I had no idea what it was about.
You got, I mean, it got popular. It got popular for a reason. It got on a bestsellers list for a reason. I mean, people were interested in it. And what we're trying to do now is clean up that mess, because it would really put out a lot of bad information, a lot of false ideas about what a BDSM relationship looks like.
A lot of forged ideas.
But I mean, and we got to think these are our like perspectives from an educational point of view. Like many of those old school BDSM joint relationships could have been possibly abusive or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say I've never wanted
we're only coming from our point of view as educated people.
What were you saying, Kane? You cut up. I couldn't hear you at all.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm just saying, when it comes to like 50 Shades of Grey, it's like, with that false information, with like those projected falsehoods, I can honestly tell you, as a dom, I've never wanted to meet a sub's parents. I've never wanted to join a sub for Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, there was a certain dynamic within the relationship, and that relationship isn't as common within kink and BDSM, especially in the way that they met, interacted, engaged, and continued on after that.
Yeah, he was kind of a stalker.
But I mean, they started a relationship from BDSM.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit's bass backwards. That's like teaching somebody to like have a baby before they have sex. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does work sometimes. Like if you're just going out searching for that, total power exchange, the TPE, and you're saying, hey, I want a 24/7 relationship, then if you're going out seeking that, then yeah, that works. But she didn't know anything about being a sub. She knew nothing about that world. It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
But maybe he's seen the qualities, the submissiveness, or the innocence. You know what I mean? He's like, ooh.
Yeah, well, and that's what he tried to. Wait, what?
Didn't they fall in love?
In my opinion, that was from a very prim perspective. Like, you're priming someone to be a good sub for you because you see those qualities in that person, as opposed to negotiating that. Right. That's what I got from that situation.
Right.
That you saw someone who likes to be of service and who has the loyalty factor and a coach to train factor, and you're like capitalizing on their coach to train factor.
Right. And that I don't think that is necessarily the best idea on how to enter a play scene with somebody. I mean, you're going to have a lot of problems on your hands. You do it that way. I mean, that was just my take personally on the movie and the book, because I've read both and I've watched the movie. It just very much so seemed, just from my humble opinion, from like a primed perspective, that someone knew that they had a leveraged opinion of the situation, and they're leveraging loyalty and genuine compassion for power exchange. And that's like not fair to a sub, especially if it's a willing sub, but you're not elaborating on the communication to negotiate that. That's unfair. And I feel like that was the depiction that very much so painted. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like getting her before her mind is mentally able to, or
Right.
her before her mentals mature type
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's almost a I feel like it was like anime. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me. Like,
Yeah.
it was what it was. It was a movie.
It
You
was
know what I mean?
right. But some people follow that like as, oh, that's what BDSM looks like. Oh, that's what it needs to be. That's how, and that's where it gets messed up. And I just wish it
It's not deceitful. It's not
something
deceitful. It's not a primming situation at all.
I just wish it
Yeah.
wouldn't have taken off as something that, as seen in the mainstream, as this is what BDSM looks like. You know, this is what kink looks like. This is how you approach it. I mean,
Well,
Or that was, it almost is like that's what power looks like. Someone in that archetype is what you're attaining for, because that they made that man of power kind of look attainable. Like that's something that you want to go after. However, in my humble opinion, the way he painted the play scene wasn't like a real painting of a play scene.
right.
So it's like you're looking at this movie like, oh, this is the archetype of a dom, but that's like in my opinion, a narcissistic person that's trying to encourage you to be susceptible because they're leveraging something, as opposed to let's play because we're having a power exchange.
Right. And what were you gonna say, Kane? You were in the
Sorry.
No, I definitely forgot that. So
Yeah.
You're laughing.
He's like, I was listening.
I was thinking that definitely goes into the other phenomenon or the other myth that BDSM is something somewhat of a new scenario, just like most recently made popular by 50 Shades of Grey. BDSM's got a colorful history, you know, and depending on where you want, how deep you want to dig and how far back you want to go. How many of you guys remember a country called, or a civilization called Mesopotamia?
Yes.
I do.
Like that shit's old. It ain't around no more. I mean,
So
Even go back to prehistoric days. They used to like tie and bound their ideal woman, and that's their chick. Like, I'm gonna club you over the head and tie you up, and you're gonna have like, that's the archetype of like civilization.
No,
If
the
you really
gold
want to
age.
like peg it.
well, I actually have some interesting facts on this because I did
Not to get us too far off topic.
Yeah, I did a little bit of digging. So I just want to, Remi, do you have anything that you want to say? Because I want to take your stuff, boo-boo.
I was going, you know, go biblical with
She's
it.
trying to
Sodom
clean
and
out the pool.
Sodom
You
and
can go for
Gomorrah.
rocks.
And I'm going to go more new century, okay? So,
in ancient Greece.
yeah, okay, so I'll stay off the ancient Greek.
Go ahead, do you think? Go ahead. No. You got it. No, it's all you. Go ahead. No, you got it.
Okay,
oh God,
so
you guys need
Okay,
a
you
room?
too.
You
So
continue.
one of the things that comes up a lot is like when you ask people where did BDSM start, or where was it mainstreamed, or when was it acceptable? A lot of people go to the 1940s and the pinup girls, and that's not where it started. Like what Ken said, Mesopotamia, that's where it started. And then we have ancient Greece, which I'll let Remi break down for you. And then
Okay.
from there,
That's when it became romanticized.
well, no, from there, what ended up happening is there were two authors that helped make a myth around the Kama Sutra to make it look like this is BDSM and this is and look at all this craziness that happens, when really what the Kama Sutra teaches you is men to respect women and women to respect men so that you can liberate your sexual freedoms. So, I mean, they tried to create all these different
Liberation.
around it. So in England and France and in parts of Germany, right, in the 16th and 19th century, they had an explosion of like art and books. And I know that you know some of the titles, right, Kane? Like,
Yeah, the virtuoso, the
Mm-hmm.
Ponam, no,
the Sodom.
Sodom.
The whole artistic period in that,
right, and that whole
artistic
period,
era.
yeah.
Then
And so where it really came into play and like kind of came out of the closet. Okay, like I was actually really surprised about this. It was because like everything that you research usually says it's after World War II. It was actually after World War I. And where it comes from and stems from is those military women and men coming home feeling disconnected, needing a way to connect with each other, feeling like they needed to, have some kind of community even from coming back from that. And so they started clubs, which they called cabarets, and it was also a way
Cuckolding,
for
like all that stuff took off.
right, and it was also the way for bisexual, transgender, and gays to then also join these cabarets and express themselves. You know, it eventually got shut down, but BDSM didn't get shut down. We just went underground. So yes, Remi. Yes.
Can I talk about Rome for a second? You know, and Sparta.
Yes, go ahead. I
You
told
know,
you
you
we were
know,
on backtrack in the back.
they literally used
No.
to.
He said
They
no.
literally
That was the way of
used
life.
to train their
You want to know how the Spartans were such a cohesive unit?
because they were very cohesive. You
It's
understand?
Sparta.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
They didn't have like their relationships were mainly just for procreation.
right.
Physical.
Their
Yep.
real
Mhm.
relationships were with each other.
Together. Yeah.
The you know
And whether it was like classist or not, because that period was very classist, it was more so your relationships were more so based on your physicality with somebody. And that was like a secret. So you find a wench beautiful in childbearing, you're going to sub her to death until she has your babies and she won't serve you forever. It just wasn't disclosed. So yes, it's been around for a long time.
Yep.
All right.
And
so,
it's also in popular music. Just saying.
the next myth is that a dom personality will be a dom in scene and vice versa. So
That's
are
not true.
dominant personalities usually
Not all the time.
doms in scene?
I mean,
No. I mean, okay. So you're saying a dom that is naturally within
A dominant personality. So
Okay.
a Wall Street broker,
Right.
you know, a university professor,
Nope.
things
Nope.
like that. Men in positions of power or women in
like
positions
I knew
of
some
power.
professors that was not.
Right. And I've had a lot of clients that those are
I
my
couldn't
clients.
remember the word dean. Fuck you.
Those are my clients, you know, it's the high-end CEOs, you know, that have a ton of stuff on their plate and they need to come somewhere to play to release. So yeah, no, my personal experience, no, it's not always like that.
I will
Yeah.
say, even me being a vanilla little switch, like I'm understanding that I have more goddess power than I do have. I feel like people of that power stature are gravitated to someone who's nurturing and strong. So not necessarily a person of power will feel like they need to always be in power. 9 times out of 10, in my little humble opinion, it's been people of power who like to be more submissive and like to relinquish power because they're tired of carrying life. So they want to have one place seen in one area where they don't have to carry.
I'm sorry, I'm not making faces at you. I'm watching Remi pick something. He's doing this.
Because he's always shut up. That's his face.
Yeah,
Shut
I was choking her. Like,
Just shut it.
Or that too. I didn't.
That's not the
want to-
signal. That's not the signal or the safe word.
no, there was no reason to
Said
say the
something,
safe
and I had a
word.
smart ass comment loaded, ready to go. It was beautiful. It would have been magnificent. I'll probably never have another opportunity, but it was on live, and so I don't want to revisit or relive it.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
man.
not going to
It's
tell
gone.
y'all. I personally can't stand
So-
y'all, but I love y'all to death.
Hey.
I just want to leave it as
So I think that we figured out that the myth is a bust. No, the dom's natural state and stature, and nope. Sometimes they like to play as subs.
Yeah, sometimes they're a switch.
Exactly. They can go back and forth.
They go with the situation what it calls for.
Yep. Got anything to add to that, Mr. K? Or we take everything?
no, pretty much got it all good. I was gonna move on to the next myth because I definitely have some shit to say about this. Is that all BDSM is spontaneous and violent? So what do you guys
Who said
think
that and
BDSM
where?
is
Oh,
spontaneous.
that's a very common myth.
I'm so sad that is a
BDSM to somebody that doesn't
misconception.
understand. The moment you say BDSM to somebody that doesn't understand, they immediately go to okay, so you want to whip me and cut me and like what and it's like, no, like, not at all.
No.
Like,
Yes.
I'm just
Yes,
communicating.
yes.
I just want
I
to
just
tell
go
you
with
I'm
the
into
yes.
shit.
I'm like, yes,
like, are you
totally.
into it or not?
Or- yes, all of that.
So that is a very common myth, but what were you going to say about it, Kane?
Oh, I was just going to say that not all BDSM is spontaneous and or violent. It is one of the most common myths that, when you meet somebody, they just think and you inform them that, you're into BDSM or anything of the like. Or even if you just say you're kinky, they automatically go straight off the deep end and think you're going to like tie them up on some St. Andrew's cross, or they're going to be strung up in some weird ass, like bedroom sex swing, and they might get left there for days on end.
Who didn't know?
What
No,
else?
Fable.
What?
Remi
What's wrong with y'all?
Kinky
Remi
and
Fable.
freaky are
I'm
two different
scratching my
things.
chest. Calm down.
Remi
Can
Fable.
we-
Ain't nobody want to see that. Just Fable.
Kinky and freaky
See,
are two
that's where
different
y'all
things.
mind goes. My mind ain't going. I don't know where you're.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need everybody that's watching this now to just rewind that. You know what? I'm just gonna make a nice little small clip and put it on SafeWord. And you tell me, was
That'll
he
be the
scratching
ad.
or was
Nah,
he
we
rubbing?
good.
That'll be the ad.
It was.
But I
was
will
an
say this,
itch.
me personally, when I've recently gotten more like empowered to be like, I'm an educator and this is what I do, and I'm an educator. A lot of people are like, oh, so you're a freak. I'm like, I don't know what the like confines of that is, but my understanding is freaky is just someone who's taking a stab at it, as opposed to someone who's calculated and communicative about what they want. So when people hear, oh, you're kinky, oh, so you no. That means we can negotiate. That means I'm open to conversation.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, that does take a whole nother side. I mean, that could be a full conversation, because I mean, the moment you drop that, especially as a woman to a man, a lot of times the kickback that you get or the response that you get is, oh, okay, so you like it like this and you want to do that, and it's like, no, just because I'm educating people on sex education. No, I see myself as an educator. I see myself as a healer. I see myself as, somebody that plays in this space, but that does not mean that I'm out here just searching for it.
Right.
So,
Teaching people how to be free in their own personal space, because your private space is your personal space. So you're teaching people how to feel liberated and communicating with yourself and other people. It's not like I need to feel like a freak. I'm not a freak. It's always like classified as you're eccentric or a freak when you can communicate. So sorry,
Well,
we
it
know
goes
how to
back to that
communicate.
idea that, like that BDSM takes places in dungeons and things like that, where it's like, oh,
With
it's
old
automatically
people?
whips and chains, it's violent, spontaneous, and it takes place in a dungeon. No, do you really think your neighbors have family over every Saturday night?
right, exactly.
You think their lights are on every weekend because they're just party animals?
They're gonna have like a sub like tied up on the table for Thanksgiving, and we're gonna have stuffing.
I mean, there's all types of things that people do in the dark,
And see, and that's really that right there, just like,
You should not get excited by
itch
that,
up the back
sir.
of your-
Okay, what else do you have for us?
I don't know. Aurora was saying something.
Oh yeah.
You sounded too excited.
Just all over the place tonight. Okay, so no, Remi, that piece is like the thing that kind of gives me that itch up your spine, like that's something that you have to go do in the dark, like it just, that irritates me to no end, because there's miseducation that's out there.
Well, no, a lot of time I think. See, I look at it as almost a safety measure at the same time.
No, and I know, I got what you were saying, and I think that's how you play right now. That is how you play right now, is in the dark. So, that's kind of why we're here, is because I would like to see it be more mainstream. I would like to see it be something that people communicate about.
Right? Yeah. No, of course, but I'm not gonna. I mean, people aren't gonna just walk around and say, "Hey, I'll be doing the doggy style," or you know what I'm saying, or I only like missionary, or you know what I'm saying. Like they're not gonna just be walking around.
Yo, hold up, because if in certain parts of the hood, if in certain parts of towns, every downtown's got like a bad corner where like that's where all the druggies hang out.
Right.
And it's like everybody knows that there's certain cities.
Why they gotta
don't
be
go
druggies
to.
though?
There are certain cities that you go
There's
to
a certain
that, you
part
know,
of the
like, you stay away
web,
from
there's
these
a certain
parts.
part of the town.
If I can have a dude come up to me and just shoot up heroin at a gas station while I'm pumping my gas, but you can't talk about your sexual kinks, what the hell is going on?
Right, exactly.
Hey,
I mean,
but he
that's
don't
really-
talk about his drug use. You just happen to see it.
No, when he's coming up to me like, hey, you got
That's
a couple
his
bucks
gas
in his
station.
arm? Yeah, you are
That's
bringing
his
that
You
shit.
gas
want somebody to talk
perspective.
about it if you're doing it in public.
That's his gas station. That's
You
his
want somebody
safe
to talk about it if
space.
you're doing it in people's face.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if he didn't do it at the gas station,
Are you impeding your safe space off all other people, though? Is the
Okay.
question.
Wait a second. Remy, what were you saying about the gas station?
I'm just saying that if he didn't do it at the gas station, maybe Omar might run up and take his stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, yeah,
he
very
had to do it
true.
at the
Well,
gas
that's
station.
gonna be an ad right there.
How the
'cause
hell
I
are you
don't
getting
know
more
what
involved
you're
with the
talking
drugs than
about,
you are
but that's
the
funny.
Fable. I think the point that Kane was trying to make was the fact that, you know, you can sit out there and do, you know, your drugs or come up, you know, Bum can come up and talk to you about the drug usage. Nice one, Kane. Mr. Remy, nice one. And so, I mean, I think the point that you're making is that if people can come up and talk to you about that, then why should it be so taboo to then be able to talk about your kinks, about your sexual exploration, about what you do in the dark? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're trying to get it to a point where it's not like that, right?
True. All right. So,
You know, like, think of what the people interrupt you with, you know, just on your daily commutes, just with what you're doing on a daily basis. Think about a Jehovah's Witness and the audacity of a religious person to come and knock on your door and try to spread the good news. And that's more socially acceptable than somebody going around and trying to be like, hey, we're Kinksters. We just moved in next door. So if you guys ever, you know, if you enjoy cuckolding or you've never tried it, come on by and, you know, we'll learn you guys something.
Right.
So pretty much you're saying that
I'm a strapping young bull
that
and
kink
I'm
and
ready to play.
BDSM
Right.
participants are
If somebody went around and handed out if somebody door-to-door SafeWord flyers,
Oh my
we'd be up shit creek.
Oh my gosh.
people
Yeah,
in
no,
the
it would've been good.
BDSM
It
and
would not
kink
be good.
community are not canvassing trying to convert everybody. Just like trans people aren't trying to go out and convert everybody. People
Right.
just want, I know people in the kink community want to spread the good news about feeling okay to be yourself. And it may
Right.
not look like people that look like you.
Mhm.
It may be a more seasoned person that you hear that information from. But at the end of the day, I think we're all like positioning ourselves to be here to let you know that you don't have to peg a certain type of person with communication. You don't. That's what the kink community is, communicating to get what you want.
Yep. Exactly.
And so, and then that kind of goes into the next myth that it always involves sexual contact. And again, it's just one of those myths that just continues to get perpetuated. And I mean, we could literally go down the list with all of this, and it's just like, yep, that's how they portray it in movies. That's how they portray it in shows. You're going down this dark alley into one of those doors that you have to know the secret password to go downstairs, and you're going to get penetrated. Nope, doesn't always happen.
Yes.
Well, and here's
Yes.
one of those facts that I didn't mention, which
I
was
like how you
actually
put it.
really
I'm sorry.
interesting,
Yes.
was in the ballroom era. So it was like 70s going into the 80s. There was a famous photographer that went to all the underground BDSM clubs, right? And took pictures. He found it artistically beautiful to take these pictures. But as a photographer, okay, I take pictures, I'm a photographer. As a photographer, I'm gonna come up to something really close, you know, and move my camera like this and be like, that makes it a really interesting shot. Click, you know what I'm saying? And it might just be a part of a boot or a piece of a leather. Or so this is what this guy took shots of. And he took them in black and white and some were in color. But if you've ever been to a BDSM club, it's a lot like a club. It's neon lighting. It's, you know, it's not like this dank, dark little thing. So, I mean, it's a party scene. And so like, if you can imagine a party scene and some people dressed up in leather, that's the difference, you know, and a photographer coming up on a boot and taking a picture and that's getting published. So then all you're seeing is black and whites of all these things that look dark and dank because it's in black and white composition, you know what I'm saying? And then just pieces of like leather and this and that. And that's how it mainstreamed to have BDSM look the way it does in media now. Like we probably wouldn't even have the leather thigh-high boots all the way to here, all of that had it not been for that photographer. It was something that shaped.
It's been more
And rock and roll.
sensationalized.
It's something that shaped BDSM and how it looks now. And so, I mean, you know, back then when they were trying to make everything bad for you, any kind of freedom or expression, it was bad, it was wrong. They took that and ran with it in publications and said, this is, you know, this is the devil's work, you know, that kind of thing.
Anything that's too far out of the norm, people or society's
with
going
a
to
lot
take
of
it and sensationalize it and turn it to a negative connotation. Once society gets a hold of anything that's doing good or justice for anybody, they're going to turn it into something negative. Right. So make sure you do your research and stay informed. And, you know, there's people out there that are interested in it that look like.
Right.
I just think society just loves drama. That's all. They just like the drama.
Just kind of
if it's something that's going, hey, can I get upset by this?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of going off of what Orora was talking about with the black and white photos of like a boot and everything. I wanted to show you guys this because I thought it was funny. Let me know when it comes into focus.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry, but I know what that is. So if you guys can see that, I know what that is. That's the Addams Family set from the 60s, 70s.
But do you see how different it looks like in bright color?
I should just release this. Oh, you're not on the thing. Okay, I was gonna say screen share it, but
yeah. So the Addams, like if you look at the old Addams Family,
we can put that on the Patreon. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
It was all bright colors and everything. Now think about how they portrayed it, shooting it in black and white. All those colors popped, and it made it look like a very dark, dank, very run down kind of appeal to it.
Right, old man.
It wasn't necessarily the case. It was just, you know, through one lens with a certain filter, portrayed it a completely different way than what it actually was. And that was pretty much the case with these photos of BDSM parties, Kinkster parties, you know, back in the 70s and 80s. One photo of a leather boot, you know, that accentuated the steel rings in it or something, shown in black and white, and that's what everybody thought it was.
Right, this dank, crazy, you know, pain, abusive hole in the wall that people go to, you know, get abused. Like that's what they painted it to be like, which is just crazy because in the BDSM community, you have more communication than you do anything. So, yeah. So,
and then moving into another myth where that BDSM always involves fancy tools and expensive equipment.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, I've used painter's tape and the little twisty things from the dang blinds. I've used that as like a whipping cane. You don't have to have expensive toys.
No, it takes an imagination.
It just takes an
imagination. You go to Home Depot and or Lowe's or Ace Hardware for some rope. Just saying.
All over the lower Southwest, if you look in those irrigation ditches, cattails grow all the time.
Yep.
Pull a couple of those, wrap some electrical tape on the bottom.
You and your feather, you gonna find something. You miss a cattail.
He's like, I'm an outdoors man. I'm gonna find me something to whip a girl with.
Nah, you remember when your grandma used to
sex shops.
You remember you used to have to go get that switch.
Oh my god.
Them joints.
I need everybody to not have PTSD.
My mom would be like, it's not bendy enough. Go back out there and get another one.
You need to be able to get that.
That was the worst.
SafeWord. I'm gonna just put my SafeWord up because Jesus. No.
Wait, what happened?
No.
Yeah, that's where it stems from. Yeah.
Yeah. No. She said, no, I don't like that idea.
I don't want to.
We're not going.
I don't want to do that.
That was honestly the worst thing for me was when my mom would send me back out for a switch. Like I'd be trying to find.
I never got in trouble, so when I had to, I hated it.
You know. And she'd catch me every time and be like,
"You're in control. I don't like it." I didn't do nothing wrong. I don't want to.
You had to catch me. You had to catch me. Like in order, like you really had to catch me in order to catch me.
You look like the badass kid that was like, hold on, Grandma.
I was all over the place.
Okay, but I remember one time. I don't give a damn.
I remember one time my mom, I thought I was, I tell you, I'm like 13, 14 years old. Mom was like, don't go over there. Okay.
He didn't care. Remi didn't care.
Man,
he did not care.
She came running after me one day and I thought I was bad. Like I hopping fences and stuff. I'm like,
You got your ass whooped, didn't you?
Right?
Mama whooped
All
that
of a
ass,
sudden, I
didn't
look back, right? And my mom's just like, hopping the fence too. I was like, oh. I was,
She with you.
man, she looked at me. She was like, bam, bam. She was no joke. My
That's
mom,
what
my
I was
mom
gonna say. I
didn't
was
play.
like, I know your mama. I know your mama
Mm-mm.
took you over them damn fences.
She ain't play. She tell that story too. It's like, yeah,
She
you
was
remember that
not playing
time?
no games.
She like just reminding you. So
I ran one time, and I remember over my shoulder I heard words that haunted me every day. You have to come home and go to sleep sometime.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, no.
my gosh, yes.
That was
I've gotten that
I
one.
put my church
That
feet
is
up
I've
and I'm
gotten
away from
that.
the house. I'm done.
I
I'm
know where
okay.
you live. Remember that.
right. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll just live outside.
You got to go to sleep.
I'm going home because I don't want to die. So
Right. She's
my
like, I'm
life is
going home.
at
I'll
your
take it.
altar now.
I'll
So
take the L. It's cool.
Yep.
now I'll take my butt
You
whooping now.
Right.
I won't double down.
That
I won't
temporary
pass go and
relief is
collect
gonna end at some
$200.
point.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Yep.
take my whooping now. Can I?
These street light.
I was the
Street
person
lights.
in the car asking, can we just be done? Can we
Right.
just
Can
do
you
this
just-
now,
Mm-mm.
please?
Nope.
Just make me now.
Mm-mm. Nah. You see, that's when you keep that
Just here?
calm. That's
No.
when
No.
that's when they remain calm. They just mm-mm.
Right. My mom was
Usually
an expert at
nice
that.
and calm. Just
Show nothing.
Tom was
No,
always
it's
good.
okay. We'll be home in a minute.
You know you're getting your ass handed to you.
You know what? Now that I realize this, I just made a revelation. That's why I get quiet before I snap.
We're working out
It's
therapy.
genetic.
Are you gonna be able to take this punishment I'm about to unleash on you?
Right.
Woosaba,
He's
you know what
having
I'm
a
saying?
therapy session. He'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, Kay, would you like to take the
Yeah, so the final
See, this show
BDSM
helps
myth
you
that we're
get in
going to be
touch with
discussing
yourself.
tonight,
Okay, what was that?
BDSM myths that I wanted to discuss, and I really wanted to, I made this the last question for a reason, and I wanted to ask you guys, can you pick a kinkster out of a crowd?
Most times.
Because the myth
Or
right
maybe
now
it
is that
might
you
be
can
just
spot
my
a BDSM,
imagination.
What's the myth say?
that you can spot somebody into BDSM in a crowd. They will stand out.
They're saying you can.
Yes. That it's easy because they portray us
Oh,
as
absolutely not. No.
full
No.
leather bound or leather clad, walking around with 8-inch heels and bullwhips over our shoulders with subs in tow.
But can I?
A lot of them do that.
What can I play devil's advocate here for a second?
Go for it.
You can.
So, like we say on SafeWord, if everything is kinky, are we all a little kinky? I'm just saying, like
We all are.
honestly, could I pick a kinkster out of a crowd? Yes, because that's everyone.
Yes.
Y'all wake up. It's you two. You and you.
You can see a person who's going to be gravitated towards you. If you know you're some type of kink or fetish, you know who's going to be gravitated towards you. At a certain point in life, you have to come to the realization that we all have something that floats our boat, whether it's heels, hair, a look, a smell, an archetype in a woman. We all have some type of kink.
Right.
It's just, are we communicating it or not?
Yeah.
So
It's true.
we're all kind of kinksters in some way, shape, or form. If you like a darker skinned woman and you're lighter skin, that's low key a kink or a fetish. If you like someone with curly hair versus straight hair and that does it for you,
but that's all labeling though too. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't play in labels, let's just say
And colorism.
That could be kinky for somebody versus, that may not be kinky to somebody who considers herself a kinkster, a dom, sub. I played in this space. That may not be kinky, but it's really your definition of what is kinky. So if you're asking me if I can spot a kinkster, yes, I can, because it's everyone.
There isn't over 30 categories on Pornhub for, the vanilla.
Right.
And then there's still the search bar.
He's like, me and the search bar are friends. We're friends.
vanilla looks more,
and tell me
vanilla doesn't look like mature.
Oh, did I blow
I
your
think
spot,
everyone-
Remi? You good? It's like, yo, why you gotta blow up my spot about my search bar? Me and the search bar are good, but you ain't gotta blow up my spot.
Sorry, I restrict myself.
His keyboard already know, as soon as he steps
I restrict myself from those type of things,
Oh, I'm calling Fable on that.
Retention. retention. Okay, thank you. No. Somebody told me in Clubhouse that it was gold, so I'm good.
I missed it, and I'm glad I did. Moving on.
This is on the show because we all be clicking on Pornhub, okay?
They said it was like a pot of gold, so I don't waste mine anymore.
Oh, okay.
What? Mythical Rainbow?
I was like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Why? Because they can search and never find it?
Very true.
Because it's at the end of the rainbow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was our last little myth.
Yep, that's it for that. That's all we have for tonight. Just definitely doing some myth busting, shooting the shit, having some conversations, and getting ready for this upcoming series that we're doing when we start delving more into BDSM, talking more about some more graphic content, which we're going to try and doll up for YouTube. But if you guys want to see the unfiltered, unabridged, unedited versions, there's other outlets that you guys can find us at, and you know where they're at. So we're not going to on YouTube.
Right.
But,
yeah, go ahead, Ren.
but before all that, we didn't forget to say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So,
No, I didn't. All right. So we do want to say hello to our fans, our loyal fans, Mr. Roy. So we have a thing here that we say every day, every Friday. Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
So, yeah.
Hey, Roy.
So yes, and thank you, Stu, for watching. Also, we know you're a loyal
you
fan.
my boy, Blue.
You're my boy.
Yes. Like and subscribe. We love shouting you guys out.
Right.
We love reading your comments. Like, please, we love our loyal subscribers, and we give you guys the utmost thanks and love. So feel free to like and comment so you can get your personal shout out.
Right. So I have some info to drop on you guys, because I know I've been bugged a lot in my DMs about our Patreon. Patreon's coming season 2, so just be ready for it, okay?
I mean, it's up and running.
It's up. Well, it's up.
It's up. It's not running.
Y'all ain't gonna get none of this.
It's jogging right now. It's jogging right now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't at a full sprint.
Patreon will be up season 2. You just SafeWord all the rest of them. Okay. Patreon will be up season 2. Please don't ask for it any sooner. Season 2, so stay with us.
Yeah, and we got steps for this.
Next week, we have some pop-up lives, so be paying attention to that. And we have a giveaway coming up. So please be paying attention to our social media because the giveaway is good. And if y'all don't take it, I'm going to. Okay. All right. And that's it. That's all I had to say. So you want to take us out and say goodbye?
So what's the giveaway?
Oh, you're going to have to tune into our IG, our Twitter, or our Facebook.
And
we're going to be dropping that this
meeting.
coming
Jesus,
week.
we've been talking about
drop
this for a
all
month.
the rules and all the guidelines this week. Be prepared because we're going to do our giveaway right after Valentine's Day. So be on the lookout for our drop.
So one more thing to add, you guys can also go to our website. We have a website now, and that's www.safewordmcc.com. Okay, and then our videos are there. You can sign up for our newsletters. You can get all the information on when the Patreon is coming by going to our website. And I'll make sure I have that in the description box below when this is posted.
So now for real, instead of being like trying to get off the phone with your grandparents, we'll catch y'all later. Good night, much love, and we'll see you next Friday. Always remember your safe word. We'll catch you later.